Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan, and I got something stupid. We were talking about this before we started recording, but do you know what swooping is?
No. We were talking about like with my hair. Does it have anything to do with hair?
Well, no, it has nothing to do with your little swoop you got going on right there.
A little swoop, yeah.
But it's pooping back and forth forever.
Oh.
Swooping.
Oh, because you're switching the poop, right? You're going back and forth?
Guess, yeah.
Like, that makes sense. Pooping back and forth.
Speaking of poop.
Wait, so that's a Cards Against Humanity?
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Speaking of poop, we're watching The Nun II today.
Yeah, it is poop, isn't it?
It's not as poop as the first one.
The first one is actual poop. Like,
Yeah, so The Nun II picks up, I believe, 4 years after the first one. Mm-hmm. I think that was 1952. This one's 1956 in France. France. Oh, with a croissant.
I was like watching like YouTube tutorials on like with the photography and shit like that and files. And I found a photographer and his name was like John something like that. And I'm like he's just like, I'm gonna give you this tip, and he's like, my name's John, and I'm like, nope, because he talked like normal English, and I hate people that just like like croissant, like they like in the middle of their language.
Yes.
Like
they say it like the way it's supposed to sound, and
it's like why you gotta do that?
It's upsetting. I get it.
Yeah.
It's jarring, and it's like it's unnecessary. It's upsetting. It's unnecessarily upsetting. Yeah. That's what it is.
I just clicked right off and was like, fuck this guy.
It's like, you're not getting my view, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he probably had some good information, but I don't want to listen to him.
I don't care enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE it Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. Without further ado, let's get to the shit show, The Nun II. France, 1956. So this cold open was pretty fucking dope. Not gonna lie, It starts out with a dark alley. This kid hitting a soccer ball down the concrete, going to the church. He's an altar boy. We know how that goes. But that's not the point. He goes into the creepy basement. Puts the ball. He kicks the ball somewhere at first. Gets the bottle of wine. Does the church service. Comes back down to bring the wine back down.
Oh no! It's on the steps.
What? How'd the ball get on the steps?
Oh,
Nobody else is allowed down here.
Oh, it's a spooky ghost.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I'm like, all right, let's see where this is going. Oh, he kicks the ball in the shadows, and the ball comes rolling back. Typical.
Yeah. So this is like representative of just like how the rest of the movie, because it's just like. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
It's the basic like the ghost, the demon likes to play with his prey for a little bit. Rolls the ball back. Oh, he's gonna be like, what's in the dark alleyway? I don't know.
Then randomly the fucking wine glass cracks. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that was, and then of course it got to do with this loud giant. Has nothing to do with anything else.
And he gets a little scared, runs back upstairs. Upstairs. Shitless. The priest is like, what's going on? And I thought he was gonna be like, the priest like, oh, you're crazy, kid, whatever. But no, the priest hears what's going on too. He's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I hear this shit too. And then this is where we get a little more inventive.
Yeah, because this dude straight up fucking burns in the middle of the church. I was like, oh, he's crispy. Like,
he's a crispy boy.
I was watching with my friend Billy, and it was just fucking ridiculous how we're just like, oh, the kid doesn't get burned, but that's kid scarred for life now.
Yeah, I wonder why the demon. Yeah,
that kid's fucked.
I wonder why didn't the demon just kill the kid too? Because we know later on it doesn't.
He likes to play with his food.
Yeah, he doesn't come back again.
Her food.
Her food. Their food.
It's food.
It's food.
Whatever it happens to be. But then we see Frenchie from the first one. You know how he got fucking attacked by the demon at the end of the first one and kind of possessed in a way.
I completely forgot the end of that movie.
Oh, yeah, me too. I remember them being like this dark, like gothic castle area type thing. Yeah. But that's all I remember.
I guess it was in Romania. I forgot that.
Yep, forgot that too.
So the first maybe half hour, 40 minutes maybe, I was like totally convinced that like they were both in the same coven or whatever, or they were the same place.
I did not know that. I was thinking the same thing. I'm just like, where the fuck are we?
Like, why are they going like? Why are they going to the coven or the Vatican and shit? And
because they said France 1956, and that's where he was. But they never said where Irene was.
Yeah, it was just like two
Deborah.
different places.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, how did? Whoa.
And the stupid thing is, like, we find out it's a boarding school. So
Yeah.
like, but like, so you be, I don't know, like you could do something so like, what I'm trying to say. It's too Catholic, I guess. But, okay, so like you have Irene and Storm Reed. I forgot her name. They're like they're the nuns.
Yeah.
You know, they should be encapsulating the Catholic part, like the super religious part.
Yeah.
And I think Frenchie, it's totally believable that after seeing what happened with, you know, because he wasn't like a devout Christian or anything in the first one.
No.
It would seem logical for him to be like, yeah, fuck all this Catholic shit. I'm just gonna go to somewhere else.
He needed work, man. He's a gardener.
He can just be a farmhand on like a regular boarding school. It doesn't have to be religious.
Well,
you know,
I mean,
so that's
maybe
what
that's
got
all
me
it
even.
was.
That's what got me even more confused.
Yeah.
I thought they were the same place. It was a bunch of nuns here and there's a bunch of nuns there. So like, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
was willing to forgive that.
I think like separating the
Yeah.
it would work way better as like a shorthand thing to know, like, yeah, and then.
But remember, the nun kind of is taking over him, so she's kind of looking for where to go through him.
Yeah.
So like that's why she chose there. It's not he didn't choose there. He was forced there basically by the nun because that's where the.
Which how long? So he's been there for 4 years.
Either he might have been bouncing around for a few years too. We don't know. Like
I'd assume
he
so
eventually made
because
his way
like
there.
why would he? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
because her whole goal is to find the eyes of whatever
the eyes of
Saint
Lucy.
Saint Lucy.
Yes.
So he's there for a reasonable amount of time because he's already had a relationship with he's got like this relationship with this woman,
Kate and her daughter Sophie. Yeah.
So he's known around the whole place. Why is the nun taking forever to find the fucking thing? Like why, you know? And I know the answer.
She's dumb too. I don't know.
The writers don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, but it's a horror movie, so who gives a shit, right?
Exactly. You don't need to totally explain that. It's just the way it is.
I just wish
Especially
they would.
Spinoffs. Yeah.
It's just, you know, like Annabelle Creation is not much better, but it is better
haven't
than
seen it.
this. That's the best one, I think.
I know.
Outside of the actual Conjuring movie.
Despite the third one.
We don't talk about the third one. Alyssa can attest to that. She fucking tore that thing apart. No, Annabelle Creation, I think, is the best one out of like all the spinoffs.
Okay.
And this one, it had the opportunity to do that because, you know, we're kind of continuing this little story. Like, I think this is one of the first times we actually get, like, other than the Conjuring movies, we get like somebody following to the next movie.
Following the breadcrumbs.
And I like this whole. I wish they expanded on the relationship between Irene and Frenchie a little bit.
I think they had enough of a relationship there. I mean, they bonded in the first movie, and they're just like they don't really see each other till the third act in this one. But I mean, it's like they don't really need to expand upon that.
Well, I forgot all about it. That's what I'm saying.
That's the reason you wanted to expand upon because you're like, I don't want to watch the first one again.
They know each other. Wait a second.
Yeah. I did not watch the first one again. I wanted to, but I was like, I don't care enough to watch this again. I watched Mission Impossible Fallout instead.
That's a good choice. Mm-hmm. I listened to an interview with the first director, and I remember him. I don't remember who was with or like what, you know, how long, whatever. He said some dumb shit where he's just like, yeah, like I really like this. I wanted to do that because I thought it would be scary. It made no sense to he just wanted to, let's just get the scare. Well, and
I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to set like your marketing around something, right?
No, I know. It's like
I know what you're trying to say.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand a lot of it is execution too. And that guy didn't.
I mean,
really
this one
live up
was
to it.
the newsstand, and that coming out of that was the big scare.
That was good. I like that.
They did
one.
a really good job with that, actually. And that's a really hard thing to pull off too, because that was all practical, pretty much.
Yeah, like the artist, I could really recognize the artistry in that because like VFX, or if they actually did that by hand or whatever, but like all like the matching the different parts, like that's a logical nightmare. Yeah. So I totally understand, and they did that really well. Mm-hmm. Except they sort of did the dumb shit with the jump scare at the end. Whatever.
I mean, you had to see it coming.
Another fun one, though, I thought was there's only like 2 or 3 that I really liked. 2 scares. My favorite one, I think, is
fucking goat.
The goat,
dude. That shit was wild.
Oh, the one on the staircase.
Yeah,
that was okay.
I was like, oh,
I'm just confused. Where did it come from?
It came from the stained glass mirror. Remember, it disappeared at one point.
So the nun can animate. I'm just like I know I shouldn't be diving into the logic of this movie.
Into the logistical aspect of this,
but it's just the way I am. How does
it's a horror
the nun
movie.
can summon devils? Why didn't she do that in the Conjuring 2? You know,
because it wasn't thought of.
Yeah,
and she didn't have as much power. Well, I think this point she had almost had the eyes, so like she was getting a little more powerful at that point. So like, because basically the whole aspect of her trying to get the eyes is to become a god again, because she's like a fallen angel, I guess.
Right. But I thought the whole thing was, I'm not religious and I don't know much about the Catholic, but isn't Lucifer like the only fallen angel?
As far as I'm aware, yes, but I haven't been to Sunday school in a hot minute, man. I don't know.
You went to Sunday school? I never went.
I did go to Sunday school, yeah.
Oof, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it is what it is. I got my confirmation, that's it. So, let's see here. It's like... Where were we? Oh yeah, talk about how the fucking goat got there, and it's just the devil. Like they said it. I mean, they set it up early in the film when Sophie, the fucking mean girls, took Sophie into the Catholic church, and they're like, "You can't stare away if it's looking at you with the red eye. You can't look away, or the devil's gonna get you." That's how they kind of explain that away as that being the devil, but it doesn't explain how it manifests into a real fucking goat man. It was really weird.
Well, yeah, that I don't understand that. And like, if we're talking like on a character level too, like, wouldn't they set up not Sophie? Like, Sophie wouldn't be the one standing in front of the mirror in the glass in the beginning. Shouldn't it have been like the one girl who actually is like confronted at the end instead of Sophie, the blonde-haired girl? You know, the one who's like, I was just getting into character.
Oh, that one. Oh.
That one. So wouldn't it make more sense if she was the one like who gets scared by the goat in the beginning?
Oh yeah,
because
that would make more sense.
Set up payoff, right? Like
it totally would have worked well that way. But I mean, I guess Sophie was the more important character, so they just had to get a scene with her. Maybe I don't know. I
guess. I don't know. I'm just disappointed.
Off the topic of the story for a second, I thought the acting was fantastic.
That I will agree with. That I think overall, especially
discount Tom Hardy, Frenchie. Dude, am I wrong? Discount Tom Hardy and discount Amelia Clark for the one who played
Irene.
Kate.
Okay, yeah. Well, she's from Narnia. She's the big sister.
She looks.
I'm just like, who the fuck? And then I looked her up in the car.
Yeah, Billy was telling me that. I was like, really? Oh.
Yeah, glad she's still kicking around.
Yeah, but she looks a lot like Amelia Clark though too. So
oh yeah.
So yeah, discount Amelia Clark.
And then. You know, well, I mean, we could say discount Vera Farmiga, but like, literally,
Tyson actually has a name for herself. Thanks to American Horror Story.
What's her character name? She's obsessed with Tate.
Irene.
No, in American Horror Story.
Oh, in the first season, I don't remember.
Ooh, Tate, you're dead boy, and I love you.
God, yeah, that was weird. That was like one of the best seasons though.
I love my little school shooter ghost.
Yeah, that was some weird shit. That was Evan Peters, something else of that show.
Yeah, man. Well, he's got to get out of the Ryan Murphy machine. Like,
I think he's kind of out of that.
It's Ryan like, dude, you're fucking me up mentally, like, and you're pissing off like half the fucking or all the victims of the fucking Dahmer. Like,
I mean, he did a pretty good job in that show.
No, he did great. It's just like why put yourself in that headspace, and then why intentionally disrespect the families and stuff?
Well, I don't think he set out to do that initially. I think that was more of like just
he could have just been lied to by Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy just being like, oh, we're just gonna do this without telling anybody. That's really what it was. That's not Evan Peters' fault.
That dude just amazes me because he's like he said it himself and he was like sort of proud of it. He's like, yeah, the families didn't like contact us at all, as if to say
why.
Like we got more creative or like bro, like it's a sign they don't want you to do it. Like,
ridiculous, man.
Anyway, back to the movie though.
Back to the movie. So we were at so we're at the boarding school, or no, let's go to Irene and Deborah. So they're somewhere else in Europe.
Somewhere, Europe.
Yeah. So
fuck if I know.
Deborah is like this nun who's not really religious. She's looking for a sign, like her mother kind of. Did her mom die or something? Her whole family died or something like that, or some weird shit.
Irene?
No, Deborah.
Oh yeah, Deborah. Racism. Burned down her house. Her mom died in the fire, and then her dad said something about Like if my son is fighting for country,
you're gonna
my
serve
daughter,
God.
yeah, right,
Yes.
something like that.
So she went over here, and she doesn't want to be here. She's looking. And
Yeah,
then
she's a rebel.
I mean, she was the comedic relief for the movie. Storm Reed's great. She's been on a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah, I think she's gonna end up being like a B+ list actor.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the chops. Yeah. I'll say so. Then what is up with the nuns telling these ghost stories in the basement? What the fuck was that?
Exposition.
Like, oh, you didn't see the first movie? Sorry, here. This is how we're gonna tell you what happened.
I see. What I don't understand though is like because they tell the same story again at the midpoint or whatever. So the nun tells the story. In the cellar, she's like, yeah, and then Saint Lucy got her eyes stabbed out by pagans, and then blah blah blah. And then they go to the Vatican archives where she has a friend. I don't know where this friend came from.
Yeah, that's not explained. I mean, 4 years, I guess.
He's just, but he's like, yeah, and then St. Lucy got her eyes stabbed out.
No, were they talking about St. Lucy in the basement? I thought they were talking about Irene in the basement, like the girl and
Irene is
I know. I thought they were talking about like her because they didn't know who she actually was, and then she had a different name.
I don't think so. I remember something about like they took out her eyes.
Oh, I didn't hear that. See, I thought they were talking about the actual nun attack when everybody died in the basement. Like the first movie. They were talking about that. Exposition. That's what they were talking about there, I'm pretty sure.
I must have zoned right out.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure that's what they were...
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me look through that.
But also they do tease St. Lucy in the first one, or in the intro, when they showed like the picture of, or the painting.
Yeah.
Then they come back to it and explain it, but I'm like, that's a creepy picture. But then and then you also see she has a platter with her eyes on it.
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
I did not see the I can't find it in the synopsis right now, but about like when that transpired or what happened in that basement scene. But I'm pretty sure they were talking about this sister who was attacked by a nun. I'm pretty sure they were talking.
Oh
about
no,
that.
they tell the story of the nun.
Yeah. In the basement. Yeah.
I thought you were saying like they were telling the story of Irene in the last movie, like what happened to her in the last one.
I thought that was part of it, but it wasn't.
No, I think what they're telling is that the origin of the nun who went crazy, and then the demon took over, and they put her in asylum, and blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah,
so we were both half right there.
Yeah.
Okay. we got a whole picture now.
Yeah. But also that makes me just think it's like I just wish they didn't do this one, and I wish they just told that story.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. Like when I thought when they're making the nun. Why is the demon choosing a nun?
Yeah, it's the Nun 3 will be.
Yeah, probably just because they're gonna pump them out,
After the Conjuring 4.
After the Conjuring, yeah. Like, dude,
just bring James Wan back, please, for the Conjuring 4.
He's too busy doing Aquaman 2 and getting no money.
Well, that's over now. He can do the Conjuring 4.
Did you see they just dropped the teaser? So not the actual trailer yet.
Yeah, as recorded, they just dropped the teaser yesterday or the day before.
It releases like super soon.
Yeah, the trailer release is technically yesterday as of release here, but yeah, Thursday.
That movie's not going to do good. It's lame duck movies.
I don't know, man. It's got some pretty cool imagery. Not gonna lie, like the teaser looks pretty promising. I mean, he's riding on a mega fucking seahorse. That looks interesting to say the least.
But it's stupid if it does good.
Like the first one made $1 billion, dude.
If it's a really good movie, then James Gunn is just in a super weird spot, and I want continuity. That's the thing I kind of crave when it comes to those kinds of movies. Why are we going to be dealing with this whole new DCU? Maybe, but we're getting rid of Henry Cavill, who we know as Superman, but we're keeping Gal Gadot maybe if this movie does good, we're going to maybe keep.
I think Jason Momoa is staying on no matter what.
Why though? That's just going to confuse me. Like I can't
because he agrees to James Gunn. I don't know.
If I'm just a normal person, I'm just going to be like, wait, why is Superman a totally new guy?
If they explain it away like Elseworlds, that would make sense. If that's what the Batman is, that's Elseworlds, which it's like, okay, now you're confusing all of us even more. So it's just it's a mess.
Even if they try to keep the same continuity, it's gonna look real bad because what do we? When I think of the X-Men franchise, I completely throw continuity out the window because they tell us don't give a shit about this, so don't care about these characters continuing their journey. Like, why do I care then? You know,
I think that's exactly what they're going to end up doing. Is they're going
even if you successfully restart the universe in a logical sense, I'm still going to think, well, you still got all this dumb shit over here that came
Aquaman is the
before.
finale of the DCEU, so we'll have to see what it does. I guess with the post-credit scene.
They're just in a real shit. They just need to take a break.
Back to James Wan, and the Conjuring Universe.
But yeah, so they're using him over here. He could. This is his element over here in horror. Like Malignant, nobody saw it. It was fucking
great.
good. Yeah, that's that scene in the police precinct. Fucking love that scene,
dude.
Campy goodness.
Like he needs to get back to his roots and then maybe figure out where he wants to go from there. And I think the Conjuring 4 is a good spot for that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he knows the characters.
That's his franchise. He needs it. Like, Insidious is suffering too, because, I mean, I didn't see it.
He was still involved with that, but he wasn't involved with that. He's like an executive producer. So
it's like, yeah, I put my name on it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Same thing with the writer, whatever his name is, the guy who plays Specs.
Lee Winnell.
Yeah, Lee Winnell.
He's good. I really like him. Have you seen Upgrade?
No, I wanted to.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And Invisible Man, that was really good
Saw
too.
that one. That one was really good.
Yeah. Like,
he has the chops. He just needs the shot, I guess, a new producer who believes in his vision, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And he needs like I think he would do well with like an established property. I think, but
I
like,
love how we're not talking about the Nun at all right
yeah, because there's nothing there, dude.
No,
it's
there's
just
a lot there.
It's
but
a
nothing
spooky
executed.
nun that. Okay, I'll give it this. At least characters actually die in really brutal ways. I like that, and there's some like I like the mother, the
Kate.
No, the Reverend Mother or whatever.
Yeah, she's in like 3 scenes.
I like because they give her like just enough where like if you're paying attention, she's like there's like a quick dialogue thing. She's like, oh, she had a son that got blown up.
Yes.
She doesn't talk about it. So I'm like, oh, so this is perfect. She gets haunted or like tortured with her son and gets beaten to death by her ghost son.
And then
that's cool.
Comes back as a zombie to scare the. Well, maybe the nun I think she can manifest these things. So like it manifests. They were talking about manifesting your worst nightmares. That's what it was talking about at one point in this movie. So maybe that's where the goat came from, and that's why that girl saw the goat, which would have made a better payoff if she was the one in the beginning.
Right. And
so yeah, you're right.
She gets like a nightmare of the goat, and like, oh, now it's part of her. Yeah.
See, yeah, because that's what Valak feeds off of is these people's nightmares and people's worst fears. So it's like, there's a lot there. It's just not executed correctly.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just so clear and clunky. Like you can, They introduce this entire backstory for Irene. It's like, oh, I never told you about my mother. I remember her. She was somehow in this long line of St. Lucy's bloodline, and I'm part of it. I guess all of a sudden,
sure,
yeah, right. Like, it's like this would have been very helpful in the first one. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Or even just a mention in the first one.
Yeah, like just say, my mom went crazy and they threw in her, at least do that there. And it's just like, and it's not this writer's fault because it's like this stuff wasn't here. And like, it's a good idea. It just wasn't executed well, but like, how could you execute? You can't go back in time. Like, and like, that's what I always fucking hated about like introducing new powers in like other movies with like 10 movies in. Like, why wasn't this here over here? Like, why?
I mean, I guess, all right, let's get to the final, I guess, not the final battle, but like the scene before the final battle where they're all running around the fucking monastery. So like, then the goat man shows up and then fucking, I wouldn't have been surprised if we saw like, the crooked man. I wish we see him again. He's
they're
so
still
cool.
working on that.
I know, they're still working on that movie and nothing's been done because it's stuck in development hell.
Right, but here's why it's not going to work. Because the dude was in one scene in The Conjuring 2. He just had a cool character design. There's nothing else to him.
Same guy.
Why are we doing it?
Same guy that played Dracula in Voyage of the Demeter. Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah, well, he's good. Yeah. He's just like the other Doug Jones, but
yeah. So yeah, they're all running around. Then there's the one scene with the old mother who grabbed the trailer scene where she grabs the girl's throat.
Right.
And, all that stuff. Then Valak ends up getting the eyes and grows like three sizes too big.
They pull an Indiana Jones and they the little red laser.
Oh yeah, the red laser thing. Like I'm like, okay. And at least that makes somewhat sense, but
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's like you're taking it from Indiana Jones, like.
And they had to dig, and they had to knock out Frenchie and tie him up really badly.
Like I know he's gonna come back.
Like
that's
everybody
not
knows
gonna do
come
shit.
back. It's like the third act is a mess.
It goes on and on forever too. Like
it does.
It's like, can't you just cut to the chase?
I mean, yeah. Then Valak ends up in flames, and then Irene ends up partially in flames.
Right.
Like,
And then this is
the
like,
call back to the beginning of the movie, but like then she's like, "Oh, you're a mayor of St. Lucie. She's fucking not on fire anymore." It's like,
the thing is, I was so
you should have
confused.
seen me. I'm like,
I was
what
so
the
confused,
fuck?
dude. Literally, like she's like burning to death, and like you can just tell Thaisa was like probably screaming that entire day because her voice started to go in that scene, and I'm like, oh my god. So, but like she just all of a sudden just stops being on fire, and then like don't explain it for like another 5-10 minutes. I'm just like, I'm just confused that entire time. So I almost think the cheesy kind of like flashback thing where it's like, pray with me. And they go like, St. Lucie, they tried to burn her, but she wouldn't burn. And they took her eyes and blah, blah, blah. She's like, I'm part of the blood. I would almost like that scene, that cheesy scene in this. It would just add a little bit more if they just moved it. Like that, like as we're experiencing her not dying from the flames, and that's how she, that's the reason why. Like,
No, 100%. And I was thinking this the whole, like when I saw the first trailer for this movie, I was like, oh, are they going to be doing like some flashback stuff with Irene? Because like the girl with Sophie looks a lot like Thaisa Farmiga. And I'm just like they look like they could be sisters. I've seen Thaisa Farmiga with darker hair too, so it looked just like her. So I was like, oh, are they doing some flashback stuff? Nope. Then I was thinking like, oh my God, are they going to make Sophie Lorraine Warren? I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, because Thaisa looks like her sister too. I'm just like, oh. And they're about the same age because 1972 is when or 71 is the first Conjuring. Yeah, it puts it about on track to where it would be.
So yeah, I was thinking before the first one when I just saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, they're getting Thaisa to play a younger Vera. I'm like, that's a cool idea. And they just didn't do it, but I thought it'd be a cool idea if they did.
That would have been really weird because she has to move to America and change her name.
Yeah, like,
Sophie to Lorraine. I'm like, oh my God, if they didn't fucking do that, that would have been so fucking stupid. That would have been too much and untrue, but that's what I was thinking the whole time with this movie. I'm just like, oh God, if they do this, it's not going to be good. But they didn't. And they made it worse somehow. So,
yeah, I mean, like,
third act is always a mess with these movies.
Yeah.
It's just like,
so here I'll give this movie something because it's not all the way bad.
Me too.
There's some good execution of some stuff, especially like one or two scares. I love the scene when they're in the French church that's from the beginning where they go back to the crime scene and like, this is where we found him. I like that whole kind of vision that she had. And then like with the boy holding the thing, and then she turns around and then she's like looking at something and then it goes out of focus and it just rack focuses to like this burnt corpse of the priest. And I thought, oh, there wasn't an annoying music sting there, and it actually freaked me out a little bit. That's good. Keep going with that.
And then obviously we've talked about the magazine stand scene, which is also like a few seconds later. So I mean, like,
yeah. So that whole kind of sequence I really liked. It
was very ethereal. It was very well done, well thought out. But then there's like the end.
Yeah.
But the thing I will give this movie credit for is, I've said it right, the acting, very well done all the way around. So I mean,
I also like that they tried to put the effort of two different relationships. You have this like Frenchie with the mother and daughter,
Kate and Sophie. Yeah,
they tried to do something there. Not all the way fleshed out, but like
it was fleshed out enough. I believed it.
I especially liked the Frenchie and the family thing. A little more work
Captain.
with cute shit like that. I like that. And then also like the mean girls, like they got just enough. And like I like that, like
oh God, they were suspicious.
What's her face got like stabbed by the
you said right, you're there,
yeah. And another thing, they actually like kill. They're not afraid to kill like the children, which I think is pretty cool. Because like in the first one, I'm like after the first Nun, I was just like, no main characters die.
Same here.
Which is same thing here, but like like they at least like made it gory and bloody.
Big
I like
plot.
That. Yeah.
Like that's another problem with these movies. Like
you can't expect to. Yeah.
Like, come on, kill someone. They could have killed Frenchie in 2 movies.
Another reason why The Exorcist is so beloved, I think, is because they're not afraid to kill the main character, and they did. Like, He sacrificed himself for the greater good.
The greater good.
Greater good.
Yes. It's better than the first one.
It's better than the first one.
Better than La Llorona.
Like, okay,
it's better
so-
than The Devil Made Me Do
Is
It.
La Llorona even part of this? Because I remember seeing a poster. It said from the producers of The Conjuring.
It's technically in the universe.
Okay.
And
That was
also
awful.
Michael
It was
Chavis.
so bad.
That was Michael Chavis' first one.
It's so bad, dude. Like, I hated that movie
didn't see
so
it.
much.
I'm
I
not
watched that on HBO Max for free back when that was still a thing. And I had to stop like halfway through. I'm like, this is so dumb and stupid. Linda Cardellini is being wasted here. And what's the Annabelle Comes Home? Like I watched,
right?
yeah, I watched that like right before we all had a party, and like I was like, oh, I guess I have like an hour and a half to kill, and then, like I literally just couldn't do it. I just like ended up just sitting on the couch. I'm just, this is the fucking worst movie.
I've only seen the first.
I just
Annabelle.
started making food.
Yeah, I know you say the second one's really good. I've only seen the first one, so I mean,
I might be hyping it up too much. It's not amazing.
I know. People have told me
It's what got David F. Sandberg to do Shazam. Like that's what put him on the map.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then probably a recommendation from James Wan. Probably is how we got that.
I just also really like David F. Sandberg because he's homegrown on YouTube. He had the one short Lights Out that blew up. Then he made the movie, and then at that point, that gave him this or the Annabelle creation. Then that made him Shazam and Shazam 2. And I was kind of sad seeing him because it's completely out of his hands with that whole DC shit. Like, you know, he's a genuinely good filmmaker.
He's got to get into a different franchise or main night franchise. He's got to do a different movie. He's got to. I'm sure he'll bounce back. He's a good director.
Yeah.
And then Michael Chavis did The La Llorona, The Devil Made Me Do It, and now this one. Now, this is definitely the best
he
out of
did
those
the
three.
third Conjuring. Oh,
Yeah, he did.
Gross.
This is definitely his best out of those
I
three.
think
The
so.
Nun II.
Yeah. Not saying much though. Yeah. Give it another try, buddy. Just not with
Not in this universe.
It's like fucking. Oh, did you see this trailer for? I think it's called called Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because they can't do Thanksgiving because that was already a movie.
It looks so stupid.
I saw that. Yeah, that was one of the trailers you saw in the movie, right?
Yeah. It's got the guy from Suits that I literally think looks like a rat. His face looks like a rodent. Like
Like Sarah Jessica Parker's horse face.
wait, Sarah, is she? Oh, she's Sex in the City, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they make that joke on Family Guy a lot. That's the only reason I say it. I don't think she actually looks like a horse. But yeah, so it's like this movie had a lot of potential, a lot of good ideas, just nothing executed. We sound like a broken record at this point. So let's
Yeah.
just rate this movie. I think I'm going to give it.
Please stand by.
Okay, I'm gonna read the first one because we haven't done the first one before. So the first one,
-3. Like
no, it's a movie still.
I hated
It's
that
like
one, dude.
It's like a 52.
Yeah.
And this one's probably like a 65, just barely passing, I'd say.
Yeah, first one I'm gonna go straight 50.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that movie
Yeah.
so much. You know, no, yeah, 40. I'm gonna give it 40.
40.
I fucking hate
40.
that movie. Yeah, this one I'd say like a 70. It's a good bump from the first one, but it's still not great. Like Conjuring 1 and 2, I think I would give like 85.
Oh, they're so
like
good.
they're good movies.
So good.
Especially because like it's James Wan, but
Yeah. That and then the first two Insidious are also really good. So, I mean, it's like.
although have I told you, I probably said this on the podcast, but there's one line in Insidious 2 that I just fucking hate.
Which one?
It's where Patrick, what's his fucking
Wilson.
name? Wilson. I always forget his last name. He gets his hand slammed in the door, and he's like, pain.
Oh, yeah.
I remember pain, not as much as I were like inflicting it on others, though. Like
remember
it's so bad.
Maybe that was like the joke take, and they just kept it.
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking like
Yeah.
it'd be so funny if like Thais Farmiga or Thais like in this movie, because I kept thinking like wouldn't it be? There's got to be a blooper out there where she's like trying to exorcise the demon, like get out, demon. And she's just like, dude, like for real, come on, get out. It was so funny.
I'd love to see these. Like, if they're bloopers or any of these, it'd be amazing to see.
Like I really hope that everyone had a fun time making these movies
I'm
because
sure
they're not
they do.
good.
Yeah, I'm sure they're a good time to work on, though. I mean, like, you're making a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, a big budget horror movie.
I wonder how they like.
How much was the budget? I'm gonna look. Anyway, we can
I
go.
wonder how they treat like child actors. Like, do they show them the scary shit?
Probably not all of it.
And there was
Plus,
another.
they only have like 8 or like 6 hours a day to actually do stuff. So I mean,
But like, okay, so these types of movies are probably easier to deal with child actors. But like something like what I'm watching in the trailer for like Exorcist Believer, where like it mostly just relies on like their performance, the child actor's performance. Like they look fucking creepy. So like, how do they like direct them to do that? Like do you say like, okay, little miss blah blah blah, whatever your name is, do act like you're having an evil seizure? Like what do you say to like the child actor to tell, you know?
I mean,
like
I'm sure you talk to them like like how you would. I mean, it's like they're a person too.
Yeah, but it's like they're not so immature though. They're 10.
But like they're professional. They're probably professional, man. I mean, like I don't think they're like.
I mean, but like, what's the line? You can't say like, okay, so you know how like the demon's taking you over, and I want you to do this weird head snap and break your bones, and you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, and it's like, ugh.
That's a job I would not want. I can't describe what I want.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, 70 for me.
70 for you. I'm still trying to find the budget for this movie, so
it was probably like, I don't know, like 100 million.
I don't think it was that high. I think these spin-offs get less money. Here, let me look at the first Nun. Let's look at the first Nun. See how much that one cost to me, because that one will definitely have the thing. So the Nun was $22 million budget, so probably a little bit higher than that.
Oh,
yeah,
weird.
So this movie has already made a good amount of money in the first weekend. So it made worldwide $85 million already. It's getting a sequel. You know it is.
Like, how much of your time should you dedicate to this movie? None.
I really want
just do the outro.
I really want to just like get up and walk away. But that one was good. I will give you that one. Anyway, we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle @SIB_pod. I'm trying to open my phone right now and it won't open. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me at Instagram, Danny_Wasp. On my letterbox to see realize that DJ Wasp, because I'm rewatching Attack on Titan. I really wish you would watch it because it's so freaking good. Or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Wasp.
Anyways, next week, we're back on a regular schedule of movies every week. So next week we got Cameron coming back for Skyfall. We haven't done Skyfall yet, which I'm very surprised. And I don't think Cameron has seen.
He hasn't seen it?
He has seen Skyfall. I'm lying. He has seen it.
I think it's one of the better James Bond movies.
Yeah, I know you are partial to Casino Royale. Yep. I know you are.
Yes, I am.
But I am partial to Skyfall. And
you will have to explain to me why.
I will have to explain to you why, and we'll save that for next week. So until then, see you next time.